Stitt and Ajay Baru. It's our fourth coach in 4 years, but Baru off to an outstanding start individually so far for Charleston. He's a force on the interior. And then for the UConn Huskies, a couple of new guys that really can help out. Talented players on the perimeter. Daniel Hamilton, who can float in and out. Brother Jordan Hamilton in the NBA. And then the addition of Rodney Purvis, the transfer from NC State, gives him an outstanding athlete in transition on the wing.
Interestingly enough, we have Amita Breida. As we look at Kevin Ollie, 41 years old, already a national champion, 13 years in the NBA with 11 teams, already showing his coaching ability before he became an assistant coach at UConn under Jim Calhoun. Of course, Calhoun retired, he took over, and a couple of years later, he's got the championship at an early age. We're ready. And today's refereeing crew, led by Jeffrey Anderson, Hal Lusk, and Mark Schnurr. And we're going to get Baru to jump up with Breima. Breima tips the ball all the way to the other side of the court. It will belong to the Cougars.
A little aggressive on the tip there, Alvaro. Got to put a little touch on that. There was nobody else back there.
In game one, Dayton beat Texas A&M in a thrilling end of that game, 55-53. And we have a matchup here that's somewhat similar in that they have bigs here, both teams do, but they don't have a lot of depth in that position.
Not a lot of depth for either team. And early on, important for Charleston to handle the pressure on the perimeter from UConn.
Hamilton all over Kenyon Barry. Yep, same Barry, brother of many NBA players, son of an NBA legend, Rick Barry. A strip by Purvis. Ball's out of bounds. It goes right back to Charleston with 8 to shoot.
And you see the deflection at the end of the play there by Purvis. That's what I'm talking about. This is a long, athletic team that's going to be very aggressive on the perimeter, guarding Charleston off the dribble. You got to be strong with the basketball when you attack the Huskies.
A drive, a shot by Stitt. It's good. Charleston's up ahead, 2-0.
Nice execution on the inbounds. A little curl floater by Stitt, the senior. His fourth head coach in 4 years for him.
Look at the pressure off the made basket, huh?
Charleston trying to slow down this Husky team a little bit early on. Just a little token three-quarter court pressure.
Baru guarded briefly by Barry.
College of Charleston opening up in the zone.
11 to shoot. Backdoor, it's good! Beautiful shot by Facey off the pass by Boatwright.
Well, one of the things you're not going to do to UConn is fluster their point guard, Ryan Boatwright. He's a big part of that NCAA tournament championship run and the preseason player of the year in the American Athletic Conference. He's a playmaker.
Barry short, but it's a foul on the shot.
Tremendous patience by UConn. You see the ball screen at the end of the clock. Boatwright with the patience and the head up. The key to that, Alvaro, was he had his head up and saw the floor with a nice dish to Facey for the flush at the end of the clock.
Offensive foul by Terrence O'Donohue of Charleston. Finally make it past midcourt. Boatwright, of course, being asked to be more of a shooting guard last year. Off the ball player this year, he really dominates decision making by this team. And he excels at both.
College of Charleston in the zone, trying to pack it in, force perimeter jumpers.
Foul on the shooter.
Can't foul a jump shooter when you're doing that, but one of the things they're going to have to be careful of when you're in zone, you're not matched up to a specific man. They're going to have to do the job on the glass against a bigger, more athletic UConn team as they're in the zone.
Anthony Stitt, the senior, commits the foul, and here comes Boatwright to the line. It really is amazing how Kevin Ollie motivated Boatwright, who felt he could have been perhaps in the role that Shabazz Napier had last year.
One of the things that Kevin Ollie does so well, among many things as a head coach at UConn, is understand his players and their perspective, and does a great job of helping them understand the perspective they need to have for success. And one of the reasons he's able to do that so effectively is he was in their shoes, actually at their school, and then played at the level that they want to play at for a long time in the NBA. And because of that, he really has their ear and does an outstanding job of getting through to his players.
Boatwright, one of 3 players in this tournament on the preseason Wooden Award list. Top 50 players at this point. He's the captain this year, the only senior on the squad. Makes the free throws, and now UConn's up by 3. Pressure now off the made free throw by the Huskies. They're trapping off the corners. Stitt loses the ball. Here comes Purvis. Boatwright with the 3. It's good. Off the turnover. A quick score by UConn, and they're up 6.
Now the key to that play was not just Purvis attacking the rim, but Boatwright spacing down to the corner. This team conditioned to get to the corners in transition and space the floor.
A little confusion as far as spacing and position on for the play. A 3-pointer by Shaley, no good. Rebounded by UConn.
Charleston, a nice job of getting back and getting their defense set. Priority number 1 against UConn is stop them in transition.
Boatwright. Cuts. Shoots. And it's rebounded by Baru. Baru from the Ivory Coast. Ended up with a foster family, and 2 sons of that family are now his teammates. And here's the putback by Baru. No good offensive goaltending. That was a little close.
Now Ryan Boatwright, an explosive offensive player, but the key to this one is he gets down to the corner and spaces in transition, and it's a good find by Purvis. You saw he kind of jumped in the air and just slung the ball out there. He's conditioned to know somebody's going to be running down to the corner. So the key was not the shot, but getting prepared and in position to take the shot.
Hamilton drives, the freshman, considered one of the top freshmen in the nation. He scores. And this is a player that can play all over the perimeter. He can post, he can do it all. It's really remarkable. 2 brothers played basketball. One professionally just got cut by the Utah Jazz, Jordan Hamilton. As we see Barry shoot, they gave him some room. He took advantage of it.
Well, he has not shot well to this point. The big reason is he's not taking high-quality shots. That was a high-quality shot, under control, on balance, went straight up and straight down, and was able to hit it.
David Wish on the court for Charleston right now. Sam Cassell.
Charleston very active in this zone, doing a good job of talking.
And a nice soft touch around the basket by Bryman. Great ball movement to break the zone.
But when the ball goes to the middle, the big's got to come up and take the basketball. The wing's got to drop down inside. Neither happened. And Connecticut gets the easy lay-in.
An 8-point lead. A foul by Cassell. So 15:06 to go in the first half. Here's Kevin Ollie coaching this team. Let's see what they lost last year when we come back.
I lost my heart there. Best kept secret. The happiest place on earth. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
Ladies and gentlemen, the case of death. Madam, if you will take your place. 12 swords, sharpened like razor blades. I will now insert the first blade.
No, stop! Okay, continue.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One-A-Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
At Burger King, the $5 bill just got a whole lot better. Try the delicious Italian Original Chicken Sandwich, part of our 2 for $5 menu, where you can mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5. Only at Burger King.
A college football doubleheader kicks off Saturday at 3:30 on ESPNU.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Live your own 5-vacation story in Puerto Rico, the All-Star Island. And Gildan. We make your favorite activewear, underwear, and socks. At Gildan, every thread counts.
Beautiful shot of the beaches in Puerto Rico near a sugar plantation. UConn jumps out to an 8-point lead. But UConn, of course, we talked about what they lost from last season, their championship season.
Well, and it was a lot. It wasn't just dynamic playmaker Shabazz Napier, the MVP of the Final Four, DeAndre Daniels and Niles Giffey, huge losses because they brought size and the ability to stretch the floor. You see the percentage for Giffey there, 48% from three-point. Those guys stretching the floor with their ability to knock down shots really made it much easier on Napier and returning player Ryan Boatwright during that run. So that's a lot to replace.
But of course, Rodney Purvis came in as a transfer from North Carolina State. They did gain some between seasons. Now, all three on that graphic are playing professionally. Giffey beat the San Antonio Spurs with Alba Berlin in the preseason. He's got that on his resume. Donovan Gilmore on the court, and another strip and a turnover. Cassell draws the foul. Fouled by Anthony Stitt.
You've got to be very careful when you play UConn about live ball turnovers, meaning not one that you walk or you throw it out of bounds and you go back and set your defense, but a turnover that is live ball and they can take the other way in transition. This is an outstanding transition team.
And this is another addition to this team. Does the name sound familiar? Sam Cassell Jr.? Yes, his father played in the NBA. His father, believe it or not, or I shouldn't say that, it shouldn't be that surprising, was a teammate of Ollie's in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I shouldn't say I'm surprised because you're talking about 11 teams in over 13 years for Ollie. He was at Chipola Junior College last year, had an outstanding season with them. He's a great shooter. Look at Ali and assistant coach Glenn Miller. Missed them both, though. Cameron Johnson on the court.
One of the challenges for College of Charleston in a game like this against a bigger, more athletic team is picking up some easy baskets so you don't have to labor so much in the half court to get shots.
A foul. Offensive foul on Anthony Stitt, and that's his second foul. And this is not a team that has great depth. Charleston doesn't. So Stitt will go to the bench, and Barry's back into the game.
Charleston now playing man-to-man.
Boatwright, off the screen, but it's an offensive foul by Phil Nolan. We remind you that college football on Saturday will start at 7. Auburn, seeking bowl status, will take on the Bulldogs. And then Fresno State will face division leader Nevada. It all begins Saturday at 7 on ESPNU. College football lives here. Johnson, his father, former football player. Barry. Pocket pass. Who misses, but the putback is emphatic by Donovan Gilmore, the freshman. That will be a source of offense if Connecticut allows it. Second chance points for Charleston.
Again, we talked about them having to pick up some easy ones. Offensive rebounding and putbacks is one of those areas. They're going to have to get some of those.
Boatwright. It's good. I mean, one of the keys to the success of Connecticut last year, including Boatwright, was excellent shooting from the field. Excellent free throw shooting, one of the best. They average almost 40% from threes. Just great shooting overall as Boatwright gambles. Unfortunately, he wasn't ready. There's an offensive foul on the drive.
And that turnover was forced by Boatwright's pressure. One of the reasons he's the best player, one of the best guards in all of college basketball, is he's a complete guard. He does it on both ends. And he's the kind of guy that can create his shot that we saw the very first possession before that, and then put so much pressure on the defense that it speeds him up and forces him to run his teammates over. And then there he is picking his teammate up. He's a leader as well.
And now Sam Cassell is at the point with Boatwright taking a seat. Long shot by Cassell, no good. Samuel takes a rebound. Purvis, he slides. So a little bit of that in the first game, a little slippy. It scored. A lot of dribbling. Finally a bailout foul by Johnson.
Outstanding defensive possession by College of Charleston. Did a good job of switching the handoffs and the dribble weave action at the top. But then foul with 9 seconds left. Can't let that happen. Cameron Johnson, the talented freshman, will learn from those kind of plays.
6 fouls for Charleston. Earl Grant, a great point guard himself. Samuel drives in, and he's fouled on the way to the basket. The foul's by Baru. That's the 7th foul by Charleston.
Well, not a ton of size on this UConn team, but some big physical guards.
That was
See
close.
Samuel turn the corner. I think Baru actually might have been set on that one.
Looked close.
But an aggressive drive by Samuel, and he finds himself at the line.
Terrence Samuel, part of the New York City connection that always sends a pipeline of talent to Connecticut. Last year appeared in 30 games. He averaged 9 minutes a game. Looked to be a defender last year off the bench. Ended up with 11 points in the tournament against Villanova.
And he's a good example. We talked about all that UConn lost, Alvaro, but several of these players like Samuel were a part of that run. They got some minutes. They were a part of that team, but they're in elevated roles now with more expectations and greater minutes responsibility. And that's the challenge that Kevin Ollie has, is helping those players grow into those new roles.
Keem Living takes a breather. Reimer comes back in. Samuel makes the shot. He extends the lead to 10. And again, pressure off the made free throw by Connecticut. Keeley slips on that D count. Floats it, and he makes the shot. I'm not even sure he thought it was a shot.
I think he got in there and did a oops, I better let go of it, but it falls for him.
Nolan muscling himself in, but no good, and it's a foul. And it's an offensive foul by Nolan. 6th and 8. Earl Grant, the 4th head coach this team's seen in the last 4 seasons. We'll talk about that when we come back to Puerto Rico.
Get 2 suits or sport coats, plus an outerwear coat free at Joseph A. Bank. Just buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, add any outerwear coat up to $495 free. That's buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, an outerwear coat absolutely free. And build your wardrobe. Most everything store-wide. Sweaters, shirts, ties, pants, and more. Buy 1, get 2 free. Thursday through Sunday, only at Joseph A. Bank.
The Sentra with Bose Audio and Nissan Connect technology. Spread your joy. Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Remember when Christmas was magical? Let's get back there. At Bass Pro Shop Santa's Wonderland, kids can get a free picture with Santa. And you can save on great gifts, like Bass Pro cold weather hats for only $5.
We begin with a story that could have major ramifications. You want a guy in your club that's got something to prove.
Every voter on that committee is going to be paying close attention.
The most comprehensive college football conversation. Mondays on ESPNU.
UConn up 16-8, and now let's go inside the play with Coach Darren Horn.
Well, important player for this team is Amita Brima, and they've got to have him on the floor. And you see in this one, freeze it. He's on the weak side. Right here. But when the shot goes up, he just shoves Canyon Barry. He doesn't need to. He's got the height and strength advantage. He's got to get both hands in the air, use his lower body to try to attack that weak side on the glass. He can't pick up cheap shoving fouls like that. They got to have him on the floor, Alvaro.
They didn't charge him with that foul. It really was a foul. Phil Nolan got that foul, but he's really, I mean, he's one of the keys to this season. Daniel's out. He used to come in for him. They knew they would give him energy, rebounds, but they also knew that he was foul prone. He's put on 15 pounds between seasons. He's worked a lot on his close range shots off the shoulders on either hand. And you saw some of that during practice yesterday. But this may be one of the keys to the season here for UConn right here.
He's got to be careful not to pick up any cheap ones and learn to play smart so he can stay on the floor as much as Kevin Ollie needs him. Not a lot of depth on the interior for UConn.
Barry brings it up against pressure, hands it off to Chile. He never really set the screen. Now he gets the ball, launches, and it's good. Haji Baru scoring for Charleston. And now they're down 6.
A nice shot by Baru. UConn forcing the ball to stay on the side, downing the ball screen. Baru steps into the gap at the foul line. He knocks down the perimeter J from the big fella.
Long shot, no good. By Purvis, rebounded by Barry, and a travel. As we take a look at, we mentioned the 4th coach they've had in 4 years at Charleston.
A difficult situation. The legendary Bobby Crimmins retires, and Mark Byington's an interim for a while. They hired Doug Wojcik. End up getting rid of Doug Wojcik late, not till September, where they even hire Earl Grant for these players. It's their 4th coach in 4 years. That's a difficult adjustment, but these two of these seniors, Anthony Stitt and Ajay Baru, had great things to say about Earl Grant yesterday when we visited with him.
It really was stunning to see this team. All these players could have bolted, and Baru, who's from the Ivory Coast, quickly said, "I love him," but then he thought about it. He said, "Trustworthy." As far as describing Grant, and a three-pointer by Barry.
Those are the kind of threes that Canyon Barry needs to take. It's an extra pass shot. His feet are set. He's stepping into it on balance. He can shoot the ball at a high clip when he takes those kind of shots.
7-0 run by Charleston. They get within 3. His last game against Furman, he shot 2 of 10 from the field, making only 2 of 6 3-pointers. Another foul by Chile.
Yeah, I don't like that call at all. Big fella brings the ball down. That's open game, Alvaro. If you're a big man, don't bring it down. You make yourself small.
That's 3 fouls on one of the best ball handlers and one of the leaders on this team. Chile has to take a seat. And again, it was Baru trying to calm him down.
One of the things you face as a coach in games like this, having been in Earl Grant's seat, is you got a high-ranked opponent with a big name, and it's a chance for your team to play really well, make a name for itself. And sometimes players get overly aggressive and they do silly things like get reach-in fouls like Chile just did.
And an offensive foul. Another turnover by Charleston.
Canyon Barry was coming open on the baseline. You see the screen going to be set. Called it a moving screen. I didn't see any impediment of progress. He did chuck him a little bit, but Hamilton ran right through it. Let him play on.
Hamilton loses the ball, and there's a jump ball. And I believe that UConn keeps possession.
So, but if you're a basketball fan and you don't like the way that these bigs, Brima from UConn and Baru from Charleston play, there's something wrong with you. Love these big fellas willing to give it up, play with that kind of effort, dive on the floor for loose balls.
Right back in the game. Inside out. Purvis in rhythm. Fade with a missed shot. And finally Baru takes the rebound.
I visited with Kevin Ollie yesterday, and one of the things he said with Rodney Purvis is he thinks he can be a good shooter for us in time as he learns to take the right kind of shots and keeps working on his perimeter game.
Charleston struggling for the ball. Another jump ball. This one belongs to Charleston, and they've started cold. 1 of 4 from the field. Since they've made 5 of their next 6 shots. Hamilton is from Los Angeles, went to the same high school as Kevin Ollie, Crenshaw.
I think Kevin Ollie knew a few people in that recruiting situation. A little bit of an advantage. I would hope I could sign somebody from my high school. Doesn't hurt to be coming in as the head coach of the defending national champs.
But as we look at Rip Hamilton, one of the greatest players in UConn history, ended up in the NBA, won the championship in '99. And Rip was known in the NBA as one of the greatest two-point shooters. In other words, he wasn't a three-point shooter, came in second. I wonder, with the new emphasis on three-pointers or just shots near the basket, how he would fit into this new way of playing in the NBA.
Yeah, he's a shot maker, so he still would have fit in well. Outstanding player coming off that down screen action. Pinned down in the NBA.
Brima. By the way, he still looks thin, and he's on vacation, you can tell.
Yeah, Baru, big man in his own right, was able to knock him off the block a little bit on that post move.
Step back shot, in and out. And a foul by Johnson, shoving Purvis. Cameron Johnson is from Athens, Georgia, part of the hunting ground of Earl Grant. As a recruiter, he was a great recruiter, a great point guard as well. His parents are former student athletes. His dad, Mario Johnson, played defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, so he can handle contact. Also played for the Jets and the Patriots. His mother is the head girls basketball coach at Clark Central High School. I guess the mother won the argument. He's playing basketball, not football.
Good bloodlines for that young man. He's got a bright future. Earl Grant and his staff very high on Johnson.
Purvis makes the second. As they find this new identity, this is going to be an offense, I think, that's going to be even probably possibly more shared perhaps than last year's team.
Well, and I think you just said it there, Alvaro. It's going to be a process of defining their identity, the way they want to play, who they are as UConn, tough defensively, aggressive, attacking offensively, but actually within the roles is going to change. And speaking of roles, how about Canyon Berry starting to find his as a scorer? They need him to be that. He's been poor in the first 2 games, but he's feeling it here this afternoon.
Boldright is short, and speaking of bloodlines, he's got 2 threes right now. His mom was a great volleyball player. Stitt in traffic. It went right into the defense of Connecticut. Boldright, Purvis, blocked, and also a foul by Barry.
Yeah, bad call.
Looked like it was all ball.
That was a free ball. Both guys went for it. It's up in the air. Outstanding defensive play.
Canyon commits his first. It's a close game. UConn beating Charleston by only 2.
Why do you trust Royal Purple Synthetic Oil? Because inside you is an outperformer. You expect the best from yourself and from your motor oil. That's why you count on the Royal Purple 1 Year, 1 Oil Change Pledge. Our unique technologies maximize engine performance, so you can go 1 full year between oil changes. And with every drive, the outperformer in you shows through. Outperform with Royal Purple. Available at a retailer near you.
No matter who you root for, the ESPN Fan Zone at Applebee's is the place to watch the game. Catch Monday Night Countdown all season long, served by...
I'd rather do anything else than sit at a dealership. It's a lot of haggling, and it takes so long.
Greg's experience is completely different than mine.
Yeah. Yes, Mike has used TrueCar.
At TrueCar, we'll show you how much others paid for the car you want and how much you should.
Because I used TrueCar, there was no haggling about the price. They treated me so well, and it was just such a quick, easy experience.
Get your car and get back to the life you love. Welcome to the future of car buying.
Pete Jennings won over $2 million playing fantasy sports at DraftKings.com. He's off living the high life, so we've got the next best thing. Puppets. Hi, I'm Pete Jennings. Thanks to DraftKings.com, I've got all this money. Yeah! Wow, playing DraftKings one-day games with your season-long team was a good idea. Sure was. Hey, babe. Use promo code PLAYER to play and get a free entry in the Millionaire Maker event this Sunday. Winner gets $1 million.
It's a close game so far. UConn leading Charleston 18-16, under 8 to go in the first half. And we continue with the 2014 Puerto Rico tip-off. We have 2 games later on this afternoon and evening. New Mexico will play Boston College. George Mason will face West Virginia. Those will be handled by Rich Hauenberg and also Alfonso Ellis. All of them on the ESPN network of family of networks, ESPN2, ESPNU, ESPN3. And of course, you bring talent, you bring good teams, you bring the NBA scouts.
Matt Doherty, former head coach at Notre Dame, North Carolina, and SMU, now with the Indiana Pacers. A lot of teams represented here today. 21 total scouts at the Puerto Rico tip-off to take in this talent.
You don't think the location had anything to do with it? It was just sheer talent.
Well, I don't want to name names, but I talked to a scout earlier that's going to go from here to St. Thomas to the Bahama tournament.
He's roughing it, clearly. Pressure, again off the made free throw.
I think he probably said, hey, if somebody's got to do this, I'll be a team player, sacrifice. That's what winning's about, and I'll take all the tournaments down south.
He's saving on air travel. Baru.
I'd like to see Charleston play through Baru every possession. He's a guy that matches up with UConn man-to-man very well on the interior offensively.
Barry pops and shoots. It's offline. Boatwright with a huge rebound.
Kenyon Barry has a chance to be an outstanding player in the Colonial Athletic Association. He's got to learn to make sure he's taking quality shots and get on balance. When he's done that tonight, he's drained them. When he hasn't, like that last one, off balance, he hasn't been able to knock him down.
They have not attempted a free throw so far. Hamilton misses. Great effort by Washington. Now they're over 10. Connecticut's missed their last 10 shots. Baru launches again. And Hamilton corrals the rebound. Last Connecticut field goal, Boatwright. 13.5 to go. And they still miss. 0 for 11.
Purvis shot that one on the move. Not ready to take that shot from the perimeter. He's got to be a feet set guy right now.
Johnson improvising over the stick. And back, Boatwright in. This is the spacing issue that Earl Grant was telling us. Fly shot. He's fouled by Hamilton. So now we get the first free throw by the Cougars.
One of the reasons Charleston's been able to cut this lead, has a chance to get it down to 1 as they quit turning the basketball over. That's allowed them not only to get some shots and score, but because they're taking good shots, they're able to get back and set their defense as well. And because of that, UConn on a little bit of a scoring drought here in the last several minutes.
David Wishon transferred from Tulsa after the 2011-12 season and then redshirted 2 years ago as a result. He's 7'2". He is the tallest player in Cougars history. He's from Concord, North Carolina. Cougars won against Furman early this season, and then they played Gardner-Webb on Monday, and they lost that game. They lost that game in the second half. They were just on a dry spell, and Gardner-Webb took advantage. Wishon played 3 minutes in that game against Gardner-Webb.
Stay down, move his feet, make Brahma shoot over.
And he makes it.
Good defense, better offense.
And pressure as we see new faces. Evan Bailey from Canton, Ohio, freshman, is on the court for the Cougars. Johnson. No good. And a foul by Wishon on the rebound.
And then on the other end, offensively for UConn, Ryman gets the ball in the post. This is an outstanding job. He takes his time, faces up, gets on balance, goes straight up and straight down. Really well defended. You got a 7'2" guy with his hands straight in the air. Bryman with just better offense on that play. That's got to be good for Kevin Ollie to see him playing with that kind of control and skill in the post.
And that's also a tribute to the work by the assistant coaches. Ollie has some great assistants on his bench, two of whom had head coaching experience. You see Miller on the right there on the screen. He's the one who was working with Bryman on low post move.
Carl Hobbs, an outstanding coach as well, was A-10 coach of the year at one point.
And then you also have Ricky Moore, who won a championship as a player with UConn.
A lot of combined W's over on that bench.
And we asked Ollie how much of Jim Calhoun and the typical Connecticut ADN is on his team. He goes, enough, especially on defense. I think on offense, I'm beginning to change things a little bit more. He's a good coach. He'll cook according to the ingredients.
I was a very proud UConn alum that believes in what Jim Calhoun built and was a part of helping build it. But every coach is going to be himself and coach his team to his own personality and beliefs, and he's added that wrinkle, and so far working out really nice for him with the national championship under his belt.
And he's going to get another wrinkle of worry as Phil Nolan commits his second foul. Bryma will go to the bench. Lucan in the court. I'm sorry, it's the second foul on Bryma, which is why he's so worried. Gilmore launches. Short. Boatwright, crossover, inside out. How does he do that? To Cassell. Rubin reaches in, but so does Baru, and it belongs to Connecticut.
Boatwright near impossible to guard off the bounce in transition if he's got a little bit of a head of steam. Did an incredible job of getting in the paint and making the kick to the perimeter to Samuel. Samuel with the extra pass. I got a good look. It just didn't go. One of the things that's a real strength for UConn is if they get in a late game situation, they always have Ryan Boatwright who can create offense for himself and maybe just as important for others as well.
Hesitation. Oh, blocked by Wishon. And he shakes his head. No way. Not around me. Not down low.
You think the big redhead from England won't be a force in the Colonial? Yeah, I know you're preseason player of the year, but this is my paint.
Nolan. Inside, no look pass. He can't finish, but he's fouled. Lubin will go to the line. He's hurt. Double team. No look.
Nice dish. Went strong to the basket. You know, when you're struggling offensively like UConn is right now, you got to do something going to the basket, pick up something easy. Getting to the foul line's a good remedy for offensive struggles.
Rakeem Lubin on the line, missed the first shot. His name is Rock. He's the youngest of 7 siblings from Georgia. And we need to mention that one of the key players in the Connecticut Husky rotation, Omar Calhoun, is probably not going to be playing this tournament. He's coming off a knee injury, and he really hasn't practiced with the team. He didn't practice yesterday with the team.
No definite timetable on his return, and talking to Kevin Ollie. Hopefully after they get home from Puerto Rico, but no guarantees.
Stitt with a 3. Offline. Look at Wishon. Roll to the ground. Not Cassell like a bowling pin.
Battling in there. Mistakenly said England. He's from North Carolina. He's making an impact here in this first half.
He's so big, he may straddle both countries. As we see a foul and a shove underneath. And it's now Philip Nolan with a foul. 5-point lead for the 17th ranked UConn Huskies over the College of Charleston.
I lost my heart there. Best kept secret. The happiest place on earth. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
They say back in the day, professional athletes didn't play for the money, nor did they play for fame. They played for the love of the game. I'm here to say, some things haven't changed.
Kessler, touchdown, USC. Peyton Jordan, touchdown, Bruins. Allen at the middle, touchdown, Trojans. He's in, a UCLA touchdown.
USC, UCLA, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC.
Chick, Adrian Branch coming up on our halftime report. The winner of this game you're watching right now will take on Dayton. We'll show you how they got by Texas A&M. Show you some Charleston Classic highlights and how good is Kentucky.
Undefeated season, 1976 Hoosiers move over. Undefeated.
More of that coming up a little bit.
How good is Kentucky? How good is Dayton? They won by 2 against Texas A&M. A great game, a thriller at the end. And the weapon that A&M used to really take the lead and really compete in this game, the offensive rebound became the deciding factor for Dayton.
First offensive rebound points of the game for Dayton with 1 second on the clock.
And these are great basketball fans, aren't they?
Tremendous basketball support at that school. 1,000 Dayton followers.
And I would say, Darren, that about 100 plus, maybe a couple of hundred, are here because they know they'll be facing the winner of this game tomorrow. Even Santa Claus is in town.
Well, he's looking to see who's naughty or nice, and I'm just telling you, Boatwright is nice if they face UConn.
You know, they say that Santa's workshop is in the North Pole. Dayton is the hub of innovation. So many things were invented in Dayton. I think he's got his workshop, maybe an offshoot in Dayton.
Probably maybe a regional site. Look for Kevin Ollie to get Boatwright going. Hadn't had many clean looks lately.
Samuel back to Boatwright for the 3. Stepped into the 3. Great box out by Baru.
One of the things Charleston's able to do in a game like this against a major opponent is with Wishon on the interior and Baru, you've got two guys that are legit high major bodies.
Barry rushing the shot, misses again. His feet don't seem to be set on that shot. Boatwright, no look again. Great defense by Johnson. And the ball goes out of bounds off Johnson. But he made Facey change that shot completely. Gilmore back in the game for the Cougars. Freshman from Greensboro. Marcelo inbound. Touch by Baru. Nothing cheap, nothing easy.
Offensively, we're seeing some of the effects of what we talked about at the outset. They lost the bigs that can shoot, an extra guard in Napier that can create and score. And we're getting pretty close to halftime and only 22 points for UConn. They're going to have to find their way on the offensive end. See who else can score.
Yeah, they're resetting the shot clock there. And the 34 seconds they do that. And that first half in the first game ended up 22-21, Dayton leading A&M. So we knew, and coaches told us, it's going to be a defensive tournament. Hamilton. And a foul against the Cougars.
Well, some of what you're talking about, Alvaro, is a result of all four coaches in these first two games really committed to defense. That's what they've built their programs around. That's what Earl Grant told us yesterday. He wants to build his program on. And also, early season games against good competition. This is the first competition they've seen. The defense is always going to be ahead of the offense.
Gilmore committing his third foul. He just got into the game with 2 and had committed a third. Points from the free throw, 9 for UConn, 7 off turnovers. Otherwise, their half-court game is weak.
And that says it all. Only 25% in their regular offense, so to speak, and the rest of it off of second chance points, free throws, which are important. But they're going to have to find their way executing in the half court.
But Darren, don't coaches really start with defense when they set up a team?
Well, no question. They're going to start on the defensive end because that's something that you can do every single night. And especially with UConn, they've built their program going all the way back to the Jim Calhoun days with tough pressure defense. And this team is doing that as well. Charleston only has 17 on the board. They're just going to have to find their way as they move through this preseason and get into conference play on the offensive end.
And that tough defense forced an 8th turnover. Cameron Johnson with the travel. Oh, right. Oh, very difficult shot. In the post.
Good call by Kevin Ollie. Needs a basket, as we've been talking about. Who better to go to the Boatwright? Empties aside with a flat ball screen on the wing. Gives the talented guard some room to go to work.
Barry denied the right hand. Goes left now. Purvis with the defense. Again, that defense you were talking about, and a shove. And the foul's going to be on Fort Purvis.
Boatwright's such an important part of this team. You see the flat ball screen. Gets Baru in a situation where he's coming out and having to move his feet and change direction. That's a mismatch all day long. Boatwright slithers his way out of the rim.
They'll talk about his size. I'm sure these scouts, NBA scouts, looked at that play and took a lot of notes. So focus on his size, but look what he did as Hamilton brings it up the court. Boatwright sets his feet, misses. Gets the rebound, but he can't save it. Let's see, it went off. Referees look at each other. Jeffrey Anderson and Hal Lusk. And it'll belong to the Huskies. Let's see.
Scramble on the loose ball. Both guys are going for it.
Yeah.
Yep, Boatwright slung it off his hip. Heads up play.
Yeah, last touch by Stitt. As we get a timeout, minute 34 to go. UConn up 7 over Charleston. Interestingly enough, Charleston has been using quite a set of players. I mean, they've used quite a little bit of depth in this game, partly because of foul trouble. But this is what they're going to have to do this year in the tough CAA, in the Colonial.
Well, Ryan Boatwright for UConn starting to turn it up a little bit. He had the three early because he spaced down to the corner. See him coming off the ball screen with the mid-range pull-up, and then all the way to the rim. If that's not a complete scorer, Albro, I don't know what is. He banged the three, he shot the mid-range, and he got it all the way to the rack.
He's made some free throws, of course. He's part of the 3 players in this tournament that are already on the 50-strong Wooden Award watch list. Boatwright, Olivier Hanlon, Canadian from Boston College, and Juwan Staten of West Virginia. You'll be able to see Hanlon and Staten coming up next at the Puerto Rico tip-off. And that opening matchup between Hanlon and the Eagles and the Lobos of New Mexico, that's going to be great, too.
An outstanding field, as it is every year here at the Puerto Rico tip-off. Last year you had Michigan, Georgetown, Florida State, VCU.
And we had Charlotte, who eventually won the tournament, upset Kansas State in game 1. In game 2, Northeastern upset Georgetown. It was crazy.
That's one of the reasons coaches like to bring their teams to these preseason tournaments. Gives you tournament action. A lot of advantages in terms of your preparation for the regular season and experience in a tournament should you get to postseason play.
Terrence Samuel back in the game. Great passing, side by side, making that defense move. Travel by Purvis.
Don't know if you would call this a defensive battle or a offensive struggle, but pretty cold shooting going on right now.
Charleston missing 11 of the last 12, and UConn missing 18 of the last 20. Only the second turnover, though, for UConn in this game.
And I think you can attribute that to both of these teams finding their way. UConn with some different personnel, and Charleston with a brand new coach who didn't take over until September.
Inside of Baru, and he gets fouled on the way to the basket by Faison. A minute to go in the half.
First personal foul, number 12.
One of the keys if you're Charleston right now is hopefully you can get these free throws to go down, get a good, strong defensive possession. You want to make sure that you go in at a closer clip than you are now. You don't make some free throws, you turn it over, you come down, you give up some easy ones, and now instead of 6 or 7, you're down 10 going into the half. You want to keep that in the 2-possession rate.
They're hanging in. Baru with both free throws. 3 of 6 as a team. UConn 9 of 18. So the gold streak extends to free throws.
Surprised that Kevin Ollie didn't go for 2 for 1 here at the end of the half, especially with a guy like Boatwright.
Hamilton launches, and it's good. Very confident.
And his development may be the key to this UConn team. This is a young man who the NBA scouts are very excited about right now. He's playing at the 4 spot, but you saw him knock down the threes. Very versatile, extremely athletic.
And now Earl Gray calls a timeout. His team is down 8 with 23 6/10 of a second.
Daniel Hamilton, a tremendous talent. Preseason newcomer team selection. Spotted to the open area. But as with so many things with this UConn team, it started with Ryan Boatwright's ability to penetrate and draw help and then kick out to Hamilton for the 3.
You know, we're not in the Hamilton household. You have to think with accomplished brothers, especially bigger, older brothers. As Rip Hamilton enjoys with his national championship hat, enjoys what he's seeing. Treated like royalty by UConn fans in attendance. Hamilton had to fit in with his brothers. The beauty of Hamilton is he can do it all, but he doesn't force much.
Well, he really does, and he plays within himself for a talented freshman and seems to have a good feel, can defend on the perimeter and on the inside, and he's only going to get stronger and bigger and better as the season goes on.
Last seconds of the half. Stitt, drive, shoots, put back by Baru, but there's a foul before the putback. And the foul is on Facey.
Good execution by College of Charleston out of the timeout. Lifted the floor, let Stitt drive all the way to the rack. Jumped into the body, created contact. Veteran move by the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
It's the second personal on Facey. Stitt was one of the 3 members of this team that spoke to us afterwards. And throughout this turmoil, it's a credit to these guys. I mean, it's really tremendous what they've achieved. Because they could have all bolted. Anthony Stitt said, you know what? We hung out together. We actually spent more time together from that month, in that troubled month of August. We played video games. We went to the store together, went to eat together. It actually turned out to be a bonding experience for us. And then, of course, they have to adapt to a new coach in Earl Grant.
And the adversity has made them stronger. And credit that to the character of these kids.
But the nomenclature of the offensive plays is different than last year. It's like learning a new language. Hamilton again, and it's good. And that is the end of the first half. A couple of threes by freshman Daniel Hamilton puts UConn in the lead by 9. Our score at the half, UConn 30, College of Charleston 21. Time now for the ESPNU. After the replay.
And this is exactly what Charleston didn't want to happen, to give up another basket. Now they're down 3 possessions instead of going in down 2. Hamilton with a good spot up, feeding off the energy of making the one before that. Good kick by Boatwright. And UConn finds itself up 9.
We couldn't leave without showing you that replay. Matt Schick, Adrian Branch will take it away at the studio.
Thank you, guys. We're patient here. We'll wait till your replays are done. UConn up 30-21 at half. Daniel Hamilton, number 30 in the ESPN 100, freshman class of 2014.
Has it been an exhibition of good defense?
It's been a little bit of both. The defense has been very good by both teams, but mostly it's been offense has been poor, and shots just aren't going down even when they do get them.
Ryan Boatwright, of course, has been the offense for UConn, especially when they went into those droughts.
Well, the key is he can do it from range, as you just saw, or he can create off the bounce. He also hit a mid-range. And then Canyon Barry getting out of his scoring slump in this game. Did a nice pull-up, got loose from 3. When he takes the right kind of shots, this kid could be a prolific scorer for College of Charleston.
3 of 6. We were waiting for him to take a free throw. Of course, he shoots free throws like his father did in the NBA underhand. That's a treat. Very old school and very effective, I should add. As we start the second half, Connecticut in the first half underwent a 1-for-18 slump at one point. And that's kept Charleston in the game down 9 to the Huskies. Ryan. And that's the soft touch that he's developing around the basket, this time with his left arm.
Oh, Kevin Ollie making the call coming out of the half. Let's get it inside to the big man. And Bryman responds with a good left-hand hook to the front of the rim.
Maybe Charleston should do the same with Baru. You've mentioned that already in the broadcast.
I think that's a straight-up matchup on the interior. Baru can bang with him physically.
Good shot by Geely, scoring the first points for the Cougars in the second half.
Well, we talked about Charleston's offensive woes early. One reason was he was on the bench with foul trouble.
3 fouls. Gilmore, the rookie, the freshman, has 3 as well. Everybody else has 2 or less. Boatwright, tough shot. Beautiful defense by Stitt. And the ball belongs to Connecticut, apparently off the foot of a Charleston player. And there's no appeal.
His foot is out of bounds right here.
Dayton won game 1 against Texas A&M. They advance. They'll face the winner of this game. The loser of the game will face, of course, the Aggies. Boatwright to Hamilton. That is a 3. That's his 3rd. All of them recently. It all started at the end of the first half.
Let me tell you, that was a high-level made 3 by Daniel Hamilton. He caught that backing up and still was able to get on balance and knock it down.
And they Boatwright harassing Stitt, and he carries the ball. That's a turnover. That's number 9 for the Cougars.
This is danger territory if you're College of Charleston. The lead has gone to 12.
They're going back to Hamilton. He scored 9 of their last 11 points. Here comes Canyon Barry. All the way, and it's in. Barry. Good transition defense by the Cougars. operate at half court where they've only been effective 25% of the time. Hamilton against Barry. Both right. Purvis stepped on the line. He had a shot.
He had a shot, but he missed 3 in the first half. He knows that's not his strength, and he went to drive it, but when you're standing in that corner, you can't move backwards at all. He did it. He caught the sideline.
Still trying to get acclimated to UConn basketball. Transferred from NC State, Chile. Crossover. Very physical on the way to the basket.
Earl Grant did not get the job until September, so he inherited all these players. And let me tell you, he's inherited a nice roster for the Colonial. Several guys that can play, a couple veterans in Stitt and Baru, and Chile good off the bounce and has the ability to score as well.
He even inherited an assistant coach, Antonio Reynolds-Dean, who was at Northeastern last year. Hired in August, became the interim coach until Grant was hired. Baru, turnaround shot. It's good. Hey, that's his second mid-range shot, and he's done it in rhythm with great confidence.
Baru's going to be a problem when Charleston gets into league play.
He strips the ball now. An opportunity up ahead by Stitt. Uses the rim as his friend, but he can't close the deal. Now Barry falls on Facey, and the foul on Kenyon Barry.
Ajay Baru taking his time in the post, creating a little contact, then spinning away from it. Over an outstretched Breimer. It was a tough post finish. Nice touch on the interior by Baru.
You were saying that perhaps he should at least touch the ball in just about every possession.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say we're not shooting until he touches it, but they better make sure that they don't forget about him in there. Not only is he capable, but he's playing with a lot of confidence offensively.
Boatwright almost had an 8-second violation. He calls a timeout for UConn.
Why do you trust Royal Purple synthetic oil? Because inside you is an outperformer. You expect the best from yourself and from your motor oil. That's why you count on the Royal Purple 1-year, 1-oil change pledge. Our unique technologies maximize engine performance, so you can go 1 full year between oil changes. And with every drive, the outperformer in you shows through. Outperform with Royal Purple. Available at a retailer near you.
I'm World Slalom water skiing champion Thomas Tigas de Gasperi. They say there's one characteristic every champion has in common. We all hate to lose. That's why all my energy goes towards one single goal: winning. 5-hour energy.
Check out all these airline seats. Lots of them, right? But when you try to get one by using your travel rewards card miles, those seats mysteriously vanish. Why? All the flights you want are blacked out, or they hit you up for some outrageous number of miles. Switch to the Venture card from Capital One. With Venture, use your miles on any airline, any flight, anytime. No blackout dates. And with every purchase, you'll earn unlimited double miles. Now we're getting somewhere. What's in your wallet?
A college football doubleheader kicks off Saturday at 3:30 on ESPNU.
Fans are happy as the College of Charleston trails UConn by 8 at the start of the second half. And we remind you that we have college football on Saturday at 7. Auburn, seeking bowl status, takes on the Samford Bulldogs, and Fresno State faces division leader Nevada. It all begins on Saturday at 7 on ESPNU. College football lives here. Oh, they're huge Husky fans of all ages here. It's a short trip from Connecticut. Fly over to JFK. Come down to Puerto Rico, about a 3.5 hour flight, maybe 4 hours, depending on how much wind you have in your tail. But the difference in temperature, as Matt Schick and Adrian Branch may wish, is significant.
Very significant, and we are not complaining, my friend.
Oh, no, we're not. Boatwright had called a timeout. He was about to be called with an 8-second violation for not crossing midcourt on time.
One thing to look for coming out of the timeout is if UConn can get some scores, are they going to get back into their full court pressure, try to turn up the heat, and maybe get a couple easy ones off their defense.
Reimer, great shot again, displaying a soft touch about 3 to 5 feet around the basket. And again, he's going left. This time he went right.
Turning into a battle of the bigs on the interior. Maru and Reimer going at it.
Barry inside to Baru. He wants space, and he gets it from his teammates. Turnaround shot. Oh, difficult shot. Turnaround off his left shoulder for the bucket.
He came into the game averaging 20 and 10 in his first 2, and he's picked up right where he left off.
He'll be playing for the Ivory Coast in international competition. Looking for a coach. Samuel loses the handle. Chile over to Stitt. Cross court to Barry. O'Donoghue, top of the key, inside to Baru. The battle of the bigs. Outside to Stitt. And he stepped on the line again. But the bigs are breathing heavy. The battle continues in Puerto Rico.
I lost my heart there. Best kept secret. The happiest place on earth. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the all-star island.
Get 2 suits or sport coats, plus an outerwear coat free at Joseph A. Bank. Just buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, add any outerwear coat up to $495 free. That's buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, an outerwear coat absolutely free. And build your wardrobe. Most everything store-wide. Sweaters, shirts, ties, pants, and more. Buy 1, get 2 free. Thursday through Sunday, only at Joseph A. Bank.
You know how fast you were going?
Yeah, about 55.
Where are you headed at such an appropriate speed?
Across the country to enhance the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network. How's it working for you?
Better than ever. How'd you do it?
Added cell sites, increased capacity.
And your point is?
So you can download music, games, and directions for the road when you need them.
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's Charlie.
You ever put pepper spray on your burrito? I like it spicy, but not like, oh, spicy.
You always like this?
You have no idea.
AT&T, the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network.
Top 37-29, 15-26 to go in the second half. We talked about the battle of the bigs right before we went to break. Let's take a look inside the play.
Well, it starts because both of these bigs are taking their time in the post. You're going to see Brima first. Takes Baru one way, comes back the other. Good job of going straight up and straight down. He stayed on balance. And then how about Baru playing with some confidence? Get out of my way, I got this. Creates the contact one way, comes back the other for the little fake jumper. That was a big-time finish over an outstanding defensive play by Brima. These bigs are starting to heat up on the interior.
Baru speaks a number of West African dialects. Of course, he spoke French. That's the lingua franca in the Ivory Coast. Learned English.
Right now they're speaking offense, which is music to their coach's ears.
It's amazing. Nothing better in basketball than skill out of the big man position. It's a joy to watch.
Changes everything when you have a guy that you can throw the ball to in the post and you know something good's going to happen.
Sam Cassell's back in the game. His father, I should correct, played with Ali in the 2002-2003 season with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Samuel. So much more respect for Hamilton. Inside pass. Against the basic misses. Spicer got his own rebound. Out of bounds. Back in the hands of UConn.
Good defensive possession by Charleston. Just didn't grab it to finish off the possession. A defensive possession is not finished until you get the rebound and you end up with the basketball. They're going to have to guard again for 35 seconds.
Peru adjusting his right knee brace. And they have an offensive foul. Chile was such a pest, Cassell just had to wave it off. And he committed the foul.
Third personal foul, number 12.
Actually, the foul's on Facey, his third. Drives. Keeps his pivot foot. Nothing there. Hamilton just won't let him. Baru with room. A foul on the three-point shot by the freshman Hamilton.
Well, we talked about the importance of playing inside out with those bigs. And because Baru has been effective, Hamilton had to dig down, and on the recover back, he gets a piece of Chile's arm. And now they're going to the foul line for three.
Yep. And that is Hamilton's second foul. He misses the first. He graduated cum laude from high school with a 3.9 grade point average. I'm not going to put you on the spot. Cum laude from high school.
Strong. Charleston's a good academic school. It's a fine institution. Beautiful place. One of the big recruiting tools at Charleston.
And I'm going to help.
Alvaro, you were very impressed with this. I'll let you tell it.
Yes, I am, because I think it's a weapon that the coaching staff will use in recruiting players, and perhaps what kept this team together. Apparently, the male-female ratio at Charleston is 35-65 in favor of the smarter sex, females. Body's flying here. Bryma wants it inside. Fake by Hamilton. Oh, no good. Offensive foul. No basket by Bryma. It's his third.
Hamilton with a terrific shot fake. Gets in the paint. Great vision. Good pass. The finish by Bryma, but the official thought it was a charge. I don't like that call at all. I think Hamilton's almost on the ground. It's incidental contact, kind of after the fact. Took away a great offensive play.
And
Hamilton, excuse me, I wrote the presence of mind to drive, still have his head up, and make the pass. Outstanding play for a freshman.
UConn 6 turnovers in the second half. And he gets the foul, doesn't get the lucky bounce when they drive to the basket. So they've doubled the amount of turnovers they had in the first half already in the second half. Bryma with a foul. And that is his third. Keep an eye on that. Hamilton with 3, Facey with 3, Bryma with 3. 3 for Gilmore and Chile from Charleston. Chile makes the shot. So Phil Nolan comes in for Amita Bryma.
Boatwright doing an outstanding job right now, talking to his team at this free throw. He just told them, you got to keep, guys, we got to keep playing. We just got to keep playing. That's what you need from your senior leader. Boatwright relishing that role for Kevin Ollie.
Chile with a free throw, cuts it down to a 5-point deficit. Foul by Chile, got a little greedy as the ball was loose. We remind you that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on ESPN2, you got to catch the action from the 2K Classic Championship, which features semifinal winners of number 10 Texas versus Iowa and the number 23 Syracuse versus California tonight. The championship is part of ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic, a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament.
That's a nice field. You got California with Conzo Martin, who moved over from Tennessee after a Sweet 16 tournament run, in Texas, who I like. They've got some bigs.
Purvis slides, loses the handle. Nolan can't corral it. It's a turnover, number 7. After only 2, I should say, in the first half.
That's the biggest reason that UConn is only up 2 possessions right now. Turnovers in the second half. They're not even getting a chance to score on those plays, and they haven't created any easy transition baskets either.
And the pressure off the inbound that we saw Connecticut put on Charleston at the beginning of the game comes back now as the Cougars get close. Wishon back in the game, 7'2". Barry, too fancy a pass in traffic. Here comes Boatwright. Purvis makes the 3. They had locked up the rim for him in the first couple of games of the season. He finally saw an opening. Offensive foul. Boatwright caught Stitt pushing and shoving.
Those are killer back-to-back plays if you're Charleston on 2 straight offensive possessions. Barry with the ill-advised, ridiculous pass, really. And then the offensive foul on the very next possession. You see Barry drive baseline. You can't ever throw that pass. The defense is always sinking inside, especially behind the back. Leads to a corner 3. Then the very next possession, you're going to see the push-off. Good defense and definitely an extended arm by Stitt. That's back-to-back possessions. Now, if UConn can score on this one, really a tough sequence for Charleston that puts them in a hole.
And the young man who tried to calm down the Cougars the way Boatwright did the Huskies was Kenyon Barry. Committed that first turnover. Connecticut had to fight off Barry and ended up beating them in the second half. See if they can do the same to Charleston. A lot of motion. Purvis again. He's doing it now from the other corner.
Sometimes a guy just needs to see one go through the rim. When it passes through the net, the confidence goes up. That's where Purvis is right now. He's banked 2 in a row.
Cameron Johnson. He's fouled by Purvis. UConn missed the first 6 of their 7 3-point attempts in this game. But since, they've made 5 of 6. Stitt. Tough shot. It's in against Nolan. Purvis. Oh, he had a notion, huh?
He made a good decision not to.
Boatwright in the crease. It's good. That 1 of 18 stretch seems like ancient history for the Huskies right now.
And that's a great example of why he's so valuable to this team. He can go create a shot whenever he wants. He's a nightmare matchup for opposing coaches to stop. You know, if I'm playing against Ron Boatwright, I'm blitzing him on every ball screen. I'm going to make him make a play and give the basketball up. I don't want him to be able to create his own that easily.
Brew with a nice screen, and Stitt sinks the 3. A much-needed 3-pointer cuts the UConn lead to 8. Boatwright. Dribble penetrates to a corner. Samuel sets himself up short. Rebounded by Baru. That's an open corner 3. Hesitation by Stitt. Contact. Offensive foul.
Well, Stitt's got to make the same kick that Boatwright just made before, but a couple possessions back. Boatwright able to create off the bounce and get the soft floater to keep his Huskies in the lead.
At Burger King, the $5 bill just got a whole lot better. Try the delicious Italian Original Chicken Sandwich, part of our 2 for $5 menu, where you can mix and match 2 large premium sandwiches for just $5. Only at Burger King.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
This is the weekend everybody seems to have been pointing to. That was a situation where great defense triumphed over great offense. Do we defend the run or do we defend the perimeter?
Every Monday, ESPNU delivers extensive analysis of the college football landscape.
We begin with a story that could have major ramifications. You want a guy in your club that's got something to prove.
Every voter on that committee is going to be paying close attention.
The most comprehensive college football conversation. Mondays on ESPNU. College football lives.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $21 a month. Phil, 41, smokes an occasional cigar. Still, SelectQuote got him a $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 39, a $350,000 policy for under $14 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford. Call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
17th ranked UConn leading the College of Charleston by 8 halfway through the second half. We saw it in game 1 when Dayton beat Texas A&M. We're seeing it in this game. The first half, both teams shoot poorly, and then they kind of get situated, acclimated in the second half. Look at those numbers, Darren, for the second half for both teams.
It's a drastic turnaround, and to some degree to be expected. On the road, you had a long day of travel. You're in your first competition against a quality team. Defense is going to be ahead of offense. Both these teams in this game and then in our opener with Dayton and Texas A&M settled down and playing very well in the second half.
Samuel bringing the ball up court for the Huskies. The ball gets simply out of the hands of Purvis. A turnover by Connecticut. That is their 10th. Charleston has 13.
Nothing more frustrating as a coach to call a play out of a timeout.
Oh, yeah.
And come out and literally just throw the basketball out of bounds.
Reflected in the face of Coach Kevin Ollie right now. Looking for Baru. He sets the screen. Stitt with a long three. It's a 5-point game. And a timeout by Kevin Ollie.
With 10 minutes to go, timeout number 4 by UConn.
Stitt now with 12 points leading the Cougars. Making 2 of 3 three-pointers.
Well, 2 senior point guards here making big plays for their team. This time on Charleston's side, Stitt banged 2 threes back-to-back. He got a clean look there and stepped into it. And because of that one going down, we got a 2-possession game. This Charleston team has got some veterans on their squad. They're not going to go away easily. Earl Grant, though, new to the program and didn't take over till September. It's a tough defensive-minded coach whose team is going to fight. They're doing that for him now.
Baru playing 26 minutes. $28 for Barry, 26 for Stitt. Heavy minutes. And that full court press. Oh, Johnson trying to go for the steal against Boatwright, and he's tripped and fouled. And I think that's Gilmore's 4th.
One of the things you do as a coach in these early season games is find trends that you need to improve.
It's on Cameron Johnson, and that happens to be his 3rd.
And one of the trends for Charleston is some silly reaching fouls far from the basket. Johnson just picked up one there on a reach he didn't need to.
Bortwright goes into the backcourt to get that ball. Hamilton. Launches a shot and it's good. Going left. He can do it all.
I really think Daniel Hamilton is the key to this UConn Husky team this season. He provides another scoring threat. He plays multiple positions. He's a special talent.
Inside to Baru. No help yet. Here comes the help. Baru misses. Bortwright playing off the ball in the last couple of possessions. Molenbeek. Ten to shoot. Purvis. No good this time. Rebounded by Gilmore. Oh, Baru wasn't ready. Caught him by surprise. And you see Baru now walking to the offensive side. Minutes are taking their toll. Stitt closely guarded by Boatwright. Corner, Cameron Corrals shoots and scores. Not over yet. Charleston is now down 4.
Two seniors, the difference for Charleston early in the half. Baru's presence on the block now. Anthony Stitt making shots and making plays. And now a senior on the other end. Ryan Boatwright gets to the rim for the and one. Starting to get a little bit of a tournament atmosphere. It's November, but it feels like March.
Great ability to penetrate with the dribble. Chops it low when he has to in traffic. And then adjust to anything. It is Gilmore's 4th personal foul. As we see Cam Johnson make the 3 for Charleston.
Just saw 2 really good plays by very good senior veteran guards. Stitt with the kick out after banging 2 threes and Boatwright getting to the rim. There's really no substitute for having veteran leadership that can make plays on the perimeter. Both of these teams have that in Stitt and Boatwright.
Makes the 3-point play. AAC preseason player of the year. Unanimous preseason all-conference first team. The leader, as far as the returning players, in UConn in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, 3-point shooting, and foul shooting. You name it.
I like what Earl Grant's doing here just before the media timeout. He gets out his 2 seniors, Baru and Stitt, give him a little extra breather. He's going to have to ride them the rest of the way on the stretch.
Glenn Pierre makes an appearance, sophomore. Up ahead, Purvis makes the adjustment. Blocked by Barry. Great effort by Kenyon Barry.
That's his 2nd good block tonight. He's an outstanding athlete.
Cassell shoots the runner, and it's good. Tough shot in traffic.
I think you know what you're going to get from Boatwright with UConn, Alvaro. I think the key is between Hamilton and Cassell and Purvis. 2 of those guys got to show up big.
And now Chile buries a 3, and that's how Charleston's getting into this game. Boatwright again, creating situations. Hamilton. Recipe primer. Does. And then the foul is on the youngster Pierre. Great game today. 6-point UConn lead. We'll talk about the first game we had this morning. Coming up next.
The season never ends for your equipment. When your work is done, True Fuel just keeps working. Because it's ethanol-free and it won't break down like pump gas. True Fuel is the first ready-to-use engineered fuel and synthetic oil, precision blended for your 2-cycle gear that continues to protect your equipment during storage. So when you're ready to start up again, your equipment will too. Try True Fuel today and learn more at TrueFuel50.com.
Get 2 suits or sport coats, plus an outerwear coat free at Joseph A. Bank. Just buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, add any outerwear coat up to $495 free. That's buy 1 suit or sport coat, get 2 free. Plus, an outerwear coat absolutely free. And build your wardrobe. Most everything store-wide. Sweaters, shirts, ties, pants, and more. Buy 1, get 2 free. Thursday through Sunday, only at Joseph A. Bank.
Do you take this man to be your husband?
Oh, she does. What's wrong with you? Even your hair's a mess. You need Perk Plus 2-in-1. It's shampoo plus conditioner.
Don't be an animal. Use Perk Plus.
Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Earlier this morning, we had a thriller between Dayton and Texas A&M. Texas A&M in the lead for most of the game, a three-pointer by Jalen Jones, but at the end of the game, last play.
Scoochie Smith off the high ball screen. Archie Miller chose not to call timeout, and Devin Scott with the big tip in. Dayton's first two-pointer.
And then Caruso with a second to go, aims but misses a three-pointer. He had a great game. He didn't box out Scott at the end, but that's the only blemish on a great all-around game by Alex Caruso. And that's just the start of the 2014 Puerto Rico tip-off. Winners advance to the championship round. Losers go into the consolation round. New Mexico, Boston College later on, game 3 this afternoon, and then this evening, George Mason will face Bob Huggins, West Virginia Mountaineers, on ESPNU.
That was Dayton's first 2 points off a putback offensive rebounding, and it came with 1 second left on the clock.
And Darren, the putbacks and the offensive boards happen to be the weapon that Texas A&M used to take the lead.
No question, that's how they controlled most of the game and were able to stay in front on a poor offensive night when they had 23 turnovers. But credit Archie Miller and his team, they just kept grinding and found a way at the end. Not surprising from a group that has a lot of guys back from an Elite 8 run.
And just a reminder to you, if you're watching this tournament, you lose the first game, game 1 today, you immediately get sent to the consolation bracket. The best you can do is fight for 5th place in the tournament. You win today and you're in the top 4 teams as you work your way through the tournament. That ends on Sunday with a break on Saturday, which everybody loves, by the way. Coaches, players love that break on Saturday. Bryman makes the second free throw.
Announcers too.
They do. Pressure by Boatwright.
Important for Charleston to get quality possessions, meaning good shots at the rim. No turnovers that lead to transition baskets for UConn right here, and it'll give them a chance to set their defense, keep this thing close.
Rivers always have to steal. Baru faces the basket. It's good. In rhythm. Bryman just couldn't get there quick enough.
Baru is showing some offensive skill. He's finished on the block going both ways. He stepped out and made a couple jumpers. This young man can play.
Cross-court pass Hamilton. Saves it. Bryman cuts to the basket. Alley. No.
Bryman's going to the line, but it's a result of Daniel Hamilton's savvy. Had a situation where he came back for the dribble handoff and immediately knew that Bryman was going to be open, rolling to the rim. Heads up play by the freshman. Helps his big man buddy get to the foul line.
And Pierre commits his second foul to avoid the basket, puts Bryman on the line, makes the first. He is the co-captain of this team, all AAC preseason all-conference second team. He led Connecticut last year with 92 blocks, started only 17 of 40 games. He averaged 2 1/3 blocks per game. This is the second one.
We talked about UConn being different. Kevin Ollie told us they're a work in progress. One of those things is Bryma going from a rim protector and 17-minute guy to an offensive force and a 30-minute guy for UConn this year.
He's doing okay so far. We'll see at the end of the game. Tough pass by Chile. Stitt offline. He really couldn't get a handle on that ball. Boatwright saves a possible turnover.
You know, key fundamental for shooters, young shooters out there watching. Don't shoot because you're open, shoot because you're ready. Stitt wasn't ready.
Chile fakes the pass, goes right to the rim. Off the turnover, Charleston scores, and they're down 5. 5 minutes to go in regulation.
Credit Earl Grant and his team. They will not go away. UConn cannot kill them and put them away. They just keep fighting and finding a way to keep this a couple possession game and stay in the hunt for a win.
Boatwright double teamed. Bryman gets it. Boatwright, nice finish. Using the rim and the backboard as his friends.
One of the things Bryman has done well, we've seen on the last 2 possessions, is catch and chin the ball and find one of his teammates on the handoff or on the cut to the basket. Boatwright used that one to get a bucket.
Shake and bake. Chile misses. Fast break for Connecticut. Boatwright, Euro step. Purvis is thinking on the court.
Probably a good decision by Purvis. He's banged a couple in this half, but not his strength. He's a driver and a transition player.
Horns. Picks up the dribble. Down to Bryman. Launches a 3. No good. Baru with the rebound. A chance to cut the lead to less than 7.
Big possession for Charleston. They can make this a 2-possession game. If they don't get it, and UConn goes down and bangs one, it becomes a 10-point lead. Got to get something attacking the basket. Don't settle for a 3 unless it's gone inside first on this possession.
7 to shoot, though. Chile drives, shoots, over Bryma. Bryma really made that shot go away. Three minutes to go. Connecticut playing to a full clock. A screen by Face. Hamilton, tough shot. Good defense by Pierre. Then Pierre seeing minutes at the end of this game. Only a sophomore, playing very well. And now a timeout by Earl Grant. They're down 7 to UConn with 2.5 to go. As you see Kevin Ollie.
I don't think Kevin Ollie was very happy about that pull-up that Hamilton just took. But they have had a couple good offensive possessions late. Boatwright with the post feed and the hard cut off the post. You know, so important to be able to play through a big. Boatwright with the presence of mind to make the cut. Defense falls asleep for a second. You can't ever fall asleep when you're guarding Ryan Boatwright because he'll burn you, not just off the bounce, but with a smart cut like that. He's not just a great offensive scorer and player. He's got great feel and understanding of his game as well.
But he already dominates a skill for guards that's hard to come by, both at this level and at the next level, which is finishing plays in traffic with contact. These are upcoming games on ESPNU, 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 Pacific. Drexel will beat Miami, Florida. What a way for Miami to beat Florida. And then Penn State and Charlotte. Charlotte won this tournament last year by beating Michigan on a last-second shot. And that's the beauty of the Puerto Rico tip-off. So we'll have action tomorrow. We'll have a day's break on Saturday. We have games on Sunday. Come on down. Still time.
It's an easy flight down to Puerto Rico, a little over 3 hours from Charlotte or Atlanta.
This is Charleston in the second half. Look at the three-point shooting and the overall shooting.
Well, they've been much better offensively. What they haven't done is turn the basketball over, so they've actually gotten more shots at the basket, and they've shot it at a good clip, and so they find themselves still hanging around in this game. Again, a basket away from keeping it 2 possessions inside of 2 minutes here.
See what they do off the Earl Grant timeout. Debuting as a head coach.
Got to give Baru a touch, don't you?
remains. Brima near the basket, and he gets the foul. He'll go to the line. We'll come back with the free throws. 2.5 to go. UConn's up by 7 over the Cougars.
ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Puerto Rico Tourism Company. Live your own 5-vacation story in Puerto Rico, the All-Star Island.
I lost my heart there. Best kept secret. The happiest place on earth. What a rush. Live your own 5-star vacation story. Come to Puerto Rico, the All-Star Island.
So, have you been on a lot of blind dates?
Well, this would make one.
Oh,
Yeah.
me too. What do you do?
I'm a vet.
I love animals.
Really? Where are you from?
Michigan, born and raised. Go Blue.
Go Buckeyes! Go Buckeyes!
After we're done in Puerto Rico, we'll get you back to the mainland. Angel Rodriguez was the main man, 24 points against Florida in the upset win earlier in the week. It's Miami and Drexel at Charleston Classic. Coming up, fellas.
Thank you very much, Matt. And Angel Rodriguez, who's born and raised in Puerto Rico, will be back here next year with Miami, we hope. That'll be one of the 8 teams in the 2015 Puerto Rico tip-off. And now we have a situation that's fascinating. Brima has 4 fouls. He's been taken out of the game. 2.5 to go, protecting a 7-point lead with Baru at the line. Baru has 4. Listen to this. He's got 4 of the total 5 rebounds Charleston's had in the second half.
It's an impressive stat. Tells you how important he is to this team. It's a unique stat, too. It tells you on the offensive end.
They've made shots.
They've made shots, and they've got several turnovers. There hadn't been a ton of rebounds on the defensive end to get. Got a few offensive rebounds this half UConn has, but not a ton.
Makes both. Anything at this point down 5 is clutch for the Cougars. Pressure. Barry just falls down after contacting Purvis.
So important for Charleston to stay within 2 possessions in this last 2 minutes. It gives them a chance to get a score and then force a turnover and another one and tie it.
Samuel. Nolan's cutting. Samuel goes all the way to the cup. Nice hesitation.
Great hesitation at the foul line. Froze the big that helped on the ball screen and gave Samuel the gap to drive it all the way to the rim. Outstanding move.
Baru wants it. He's got some room. Barry. Long 2. Short. Baru had a lot of room down low.
Not a bad shot, but you hate to see him have a possession late without going into Baru, especially with Brima out. That's the kind of thing that Barry's got to be aware of.
Intercepted by Stitt, and he lays it in. Turnovers are really hurting Connecticut in the second half. It's a 5-point game, minute 15 to go. Chile being an absolute pest on defense.
Important for Charleston to continue to pressure, but without fouling. They picked up some cheap ones way far out on the floor. Don't do that. Make UConn finish.
Purvis with 10 seconds to shoot. Loses the ball. Stitt gets it. Over to Chile. Boatwright's behind them. Stolen by Boatwright. Back in the hands of Cameron Johnson, and he misses. The ball belongs to the Cougars. Great hustle
Incredible effort by Boatwright to get back and back tip that basketball.
And Baru's right knee, which has a brace, he's hurt. I think he dove for the ball, and he's banging his head in pain. Let's take a look at it again.
Baru with solid defense. He's the one that gets his hand on the ball and deflects it. Goes for the loose ball.
And then Nolan falls on his leg, on his right ankle. And that kind of extended and twisted a bit of his right leg, which has that brace.
It's hard to tell from that angle if it was the ankle or the knee, but not good. Nolan definitely fell on it. How good has Baru been tonight?
Oh.
Alvaro, a double-double. 12 points, 10 rebounds. And maybe more importantly, if you're a coach, a guy that has settled your team down,
Correct.
given you a key, not just 12 points, but key buckets at times when you needed to stop runs. Can't say enough about this young man and the way that he's played.
Not sure he's going to be back today, but you just hope he could be back before the end of this tournament. And everybody stands up, including Husky fans, who know good basketball when they see it.
Well, Jai Baru has done it in a lot of different ways. He's knocked down a couple of jumpers. He's been efficient in the post. He's finished going both ways. These are tough shots over a shot blocking Brima.
And very opportune shots, because they came typically when his team was in a drought, in a bit of a spell.
You need the quickest score you can get here. Doesn't have to be a three. Just get it quicker.
Oh, what a shot by Sheely. Oh, but he can't make it. Wishan struggles with the rebound. And it's back in the hands of Connecticut.
Great execution by Charleston. Didn't go down, but they attacked the basket. They did it quickly. Just weren't able to get it to go.
35 seconds to go in regulation. 5-point Connecticut lead.
Got to try to go for a steal, and then if not, get a quick foul.
Oh! Beautiful play between Purvis and Brima. Coming up next, Drexel facing Miami. Stitt a three. It's in! 22 seconds to go. And it is a 4-point game.
Again, a lot of time left on the clock. At 2 possessions, you got a chance to go for a quick steal. If you don't get it, you foul them. It's still going to be 2 possessions. This is tremendous execution. You see the trail defender there. That's because the ball went sideline first. And they were able to throw over top of the defense. And then Charleston comes right back and bangs a 3. Stitt hit some big ones in the second half.
Huge. Coming up next, Drexel against Miami on to Charleston, South Carolina. Game coming up next on ESPNU. Tournament back in the Cougars' home city, but they're here, and Wishan is also limping a bit after that exchange.
Really impressed with Charleston's grit and the character they've shown. Earl Grant's doing an outstanding job with them, but credit Bobby Crimmins and Doug Wojcik too for recruiting good players that got some substance to them. Earl Grant's coaching them up today.
22 seconds left. And they quickly foul Boatwright to get the change of possession. The foul is on Pat Brannon. Brannon, part of that family that took in Baru as he came in from the Ivory Coast. What a teammate Baru is. He's standing up to welcome the teammate coming back into the bench.
On one leg.
On one leg, reflectively.
This is a Charleston team that's got a chance to keep getting better, improve as the season goes on. They've got veteran leadership. That could be a problem in the Colonial come March.
Boatwright with big free throws now. Makes the first. Chance to make a 2-long possession game.
I don't know if there's anybody in the country that I would want on the line more than I would want Ryan Boatwright. Veteran guard that's been there in those situations. Wants the basketball to be able to ice games, whether they're behind or ahead in a situation like this.
Makes them both. 6-point game. And now Kevin Ollie will call a timeout. And we're going to head over to Matt and Adrian at the studio. Gentlemen.
Thank you. When you guys are done there, we'll get you out to the Charleston Classic. Right now, it's Miami and Drexel, and Drexel leads 3-0. You can check it out on ESPN News when we're done in Puerto Rico. That game will move over to ESPNU. Fellas.
Thank you very much, Matt. Another close finish in Game 2. Remember, we have Game 3 and Game 4 coming up. Rich Hallenberg, Alfonso Ellis will join you. They're actually near us watching this game. They don't want to miss the action. Anthony Stitt, 3 of 4 from 3 in the second half. Kept them in the game as well.
Well, the two seniors have been the difference for Charleston. Baru on the interior, and then Stitt in the second half. He's had 13 points on hot shooting from beyond the arc. UConn's going to show a little token pressure right here to try to burn some time off the clock. The clock is their friend, up 2 possessions.
Stitt with the ball. Charleston 5 of 6 from 3. Over to Barry, launches a 3 offline and rebounded by Hamilton, and he's quickly fouled. That was her last chance for the Cougars to really get themselves into the game, and Barry just couldn't make the shot.
One of the good things about being in a situation like this in an early season tournament as a coach, Alvarez, you're going to get an opportunity to put your guys in close game situations. You're going to learn a little bit about your team, not only situationally, but what they're capable of individually. And I think we learned today that Daniel Hamilton may be the key to this UConn team. He's an athletic perimeter guy that can float on the interior and play some 4 when they go small, and he can score the basketball, which they need.
Last seconds of the game. Geely misses. Stitt gets the ball, launches a 3, no good. And Hamilton takes a rebound 2 seconds ago, and UConn wins, beating Charleston 65-57 to advance to the second round, and they will meet Dayton in the second game. And that game will be on ESPN2. What a game between Dayton and 17th ranked University of Connecticut. Ryan Boatwright doing everything for that team. That game's going to be at 2:30 Eastern. We'll also show you earlier in the day Texas A&M against College of Charleston. For Darren Horn, this is Albert Martin. We'll send you now to Charleston, South Carolina, as Drexel will play Miami.
And welcome those now tuning in on ESPNU. Drexel an early lead, and they increase that margin. Their second three-pointer, it's 6-2 Dragons. Here inside of TD Arena, Roy Philpott, Craig Robinson here with you. Game 2 of the Gildan Charleston Classic. As Rodriguez will feed the post. Shaqiri back to work in the paint, and this time it goes down.